Well, I think it's time for another awesome yet original roller coaster video on the channel. And I think it's time to make a deep dive into these nerdy roller coaster elements. Yep, that's right, I'm gonna be talking about 15 of the craziest roller coaster elements I've ever tried. We got some one-of-a-kind elements and also some that can be found on other roller coasters. And well, let's see how long this video will be, and remember to subscribe to the channel please. Coming in as the first crazy element, we got the double inverting dive loop. And this element can only be found on the extreme spinning coaster called Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland Panne. Combined with the spinning trains on this one, you got a crazy element right here. And you fly up into this element just after the second launch. It feels like you're getting thrown around really quickly, and this element just rearranges your guts also. Now coming in as the next crazy element, we got the infamous pretzel loop. And this element can almost be found on every flying coaster made by B&M in the world. And well, you only have a few exceptions. And this is where you go from flying position to lying position with a face down drop. And this element just pulls some very strong G-forces when you're laying at the bottom. And well, the visuals are also scary too. Now coming in as the next crazy element, we got the 270-degree double inverting stall. This element is a one-of-a-kind, and it can only be found on Untamed the RMC hybrid at Walibi Holland. And well, you only complete 3/4 of this 0G roll, and then the ride turns you back around again. And that just creates 2 inversions in one right here. And let me just tell you, your bum never hits the seat again before going through this whole element. Now the next element on the list is the outward banked airtime hill. And well, many of us roller coaster enthusiasts just call these elements outer banked airtime hills. And this is a very interesting yet awesome way to create an airtime moment. And well, it was originally RMC that started making these moments, and then after that the other manufacturers started joining in. And the best outer bank moments in my opinion can be found on Steel Vengeance and also Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Now coming in as the next element, we got the outward banked airtime hill plus a barrel roll down drop. And this really is an amazing yet one-of-a-kind element that can only be found on Hyperia at Thorpe Park. And well, I have to say that UK's tallest roller coaster has the best element in the whole world right here. And first of all, you get the strong sustained airtime push of the outer bank. Then at the crest the airtime feels floaty, and then it transforms into hang time going down this barrel roll down drop. And well, I can't really say anything else than this is world class. Now the next element is also very special, and this is where we got the 0G roll combined with a fly to lie element. And I'm not quite sure, but I think this element can only be seen on 2 different flying coasters around the world. And I'm talking about the B&M flying coasters Flying Dinosaur and Starry Sky Ripper. And because of the flying position, the element is whippy, intense and very confusing. And well, it overall feels like you're in a washing machine for a few seconds. Now coming in as the next awesome element, we got the iconic camelback floater hill by B&M. These airtime hills are not so rare, and they can especially be seen on the B&M hyper coasters. And well, of course, these big floater airtime hills looks like a camel's back. And well, this might be the least intense element I have on the list, but I still had to mention it. That's because you can feel the awesome sensation of floating for several seconds on these hills. Now coming in as the next crazy element, we got the 0G stall. And well, RMC started this trend by creating awesome rides with this iconic 0G stall. And well, yet again all the other manufacturers just followed. And well, this one is quite weird because it looks very scary and majestic. And well, this element often gets taken with a lot of speed, and that's why it's called a 0G stall. And well, you can just feel the upside down sensation of flying with high speed and whipping out of the element. Now coming in as the next element, we got the twisted first drop. And yes, this element can be found on many roller coasters out there in the world. The best twisted first drops can be experienced on roller coasters with a sharp twist and also a steep drop angle. And if you sit in the back row of a lengthy train, I can promise you the airtime and whip is crazy right here. And well, the point of a twisted first drop is of course combining laterals and airtime. Now coming in as the next element, we got the batwing. And some people actually discuss if this element is only 1 or 2 inversions. And I don't really have time to discuss that because I'm already getting crushed by the batwing on Morn to the inverted coaster by B&M. And this batwing element creates some very strong whip going in and out of this element. And if you want to be destroyed by the batwing, I recommend going back row on Morn 2. Now coming in as the next element, we got the hydraulic launch. And well, the hydraulic launch may be outdated, but it's still the most aggressive and fastest launch out there. And this launch can still be found on many of the old Intamed accelerator coasters out there. But now beware because these coasters are so problematic. And now the next elements I need to mention are the high-speed twisted snaps. And these high-speed twisted snaps can only be found on 2 intimate coasters out there, and that is Maverick at Cedar Point and also Pantherian at King's Dominion. And well, I can't really describe it, it's just the transitions between these bank turns, and they create a lot of whip intensity and perhaps also a bit of airtime. And now we got a specific element, and that is the barrel roll down drop on Iron Gwazi. And this downwards barrel roll is often mentioned as the death roll, and that's because the element is just taken with a very high speed and your body just gets flung around this inversion. Well, I had to include a classic element, and this is where we got the 0G roll specifically on the B&M coasters. And you can't really go wrong with this inversion on a classic sit-down coaster or inverted coaster by B&M. And many of these rolls are just fast-paced and snappy, and that creates a strong whip for the riders. And now the final element I have on the list is the Mosasaurus roll. And this roll can only be seen on Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. And that's only partly true because it's just an amazing barrel roll. This inversion is out of control and it feels like you're flying out of the seat. And the riders fly through this low to the ground barrel roll with a speed of 52 miles per hour, and that is around 80 kilometers per hour. And that's just an exceptional way to finish off Velocicoaster. And now I really want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or do you disagree with these picks? Now, if you really like roller coaster or theme park videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. And now at the end of the day, I'm always gonna say bye bye.